Um, let me find my place. There we go. So it is my great honor to introduce the next and the final inductee of the evening, Mario J. Molina. Rocket science probably would have been too easy for Mario Molina because he combines his interest in science with his love for classical music and playing the violin. There we go, he's sliding over. If I knew you when I knew Michael, I might have offered you the part. After Michael turned it down. In any case, we should all be thankful that his interest did not lie in escaping our atmosphere, but in healing it. Because Dr. Molina's scientific breakthroughs led to a political breakthrough of monumental import for our past and for our future. Mario Molina is a pioneer in the field of atmospheric chemistry, and along with his research team, he published a series of articles identifying the chemical properties of compounds that play an essential role in the breakdown of the stratospheric ozone layer. And in 1974, he was the co-author of the original article predicting depletion of the ozone layer as a direct consequence of the industrial emissions of CFCs, which is chlorofluorocarbons. Chlorofluorocarbons. I got it. Okay. I practiced this before I got up here. As a result of his work, he was awarded the Nobel Prize for Chemistry in 1995. But Professor Molina's findings impressed more than the Nobel Committee. So convincing was his work and so grave the consequences of ignoring it that his research underpinned the United Nations Montreal Protocol, an international agreement to phase out those substances he identified as damaging to the atmospheric ozone. And this was the first international agreement to effectively combat a human-caused global environmental problem, and it holds great promise for the future of our planet, and it might never have happened without the brilliance and dedication and the curiosity of Dr. Molina. Professor Molina has held teaching and research positions at Caltech, UC Irvine, MIT, Universidad Autónoma of Mexico. He also presides over the Centro Mario Molina in Mexico, and he is currently a professor at UC San Diego, where he holds joint appointments in the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry, the Scripps Institution of Oceanography, one of the leading research organizations examining climate change, to which he currently dedicates much of his work. Member of the Vatican's Pontifical Academy of Sciences, the National College of Mexico, the U.S. National Academy of Sciences, among so many others, plus winner of the Tyler Prize for Environmental Achievement, the Knight of the Legion of Honor of France, the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and many, many more, and again, a Nobel laureate in chemistry. The state of California honors Mario Molina.
Thank you very much, Stephen, for those nice words. I'm, of course, extremely proud of being honored by the state of California. It's extremely rewarding, particularly in the company of such distinguished personalities. Well, you see, I was actually born in Mexico City, but the main part of my studies I carried out here in California, at Berkeley, my PhD. So it was a very interesting time for me. I had to study very hard, of course, but it was also the time when the student movement started. And it had a global impact, as you might remember. And I was part of that student movement. Well, I should recognize part-time because I had to study a lot for my degrees. Anyhow, after that, I did move to Irvine, to the University of California at Irvine, and that's where I carried out my research dealing with the ozone layer. Then to Caltech, the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. I spent some years at MIT, but then came back to the University of California, San Diego, where I'm now carrying out very interesting research, also dealing with global issues. So I've been dealing also with, not just with the science, but science policy issues connected with climate change, which I believe is one of the most important challenges which society faces today. It's a very big challenge, and we have to be responsible for future generations as well. That's why I'm extremely worried about what's happening with our leadership, with the administration in Washington, because they seem to be ignoring the fact that there is an enormous consensus among scientists that climate change is indeed a very serious issue, but this administration seems to be ignoring science also altogether. So one can be very pessimistic. However, I'm very optimistic. How can that be? Well, that's where California comes in. Because you know, if California were a country, it would be the 6th largest economy in the planet, just under the United Kingdom, but above France in terms of its GDP. So it's a very important economy. And what it has shown us is that you can deal with these global issues, you can deal with preserving the environment, with sustainability, and you don't have to do sacrifices. You can do that in a very creative way, and you can preserve the very high standard of living that all of you know prevails here in California. How can this happen? In good measure, it's because of our governor, of course, that he has become a leader, not just in California, not just in the United States, but globally as well. Because we do have this big worry. The United States for many years has been a leader in scientific research, scientific developments, thanks to which we have the standard of living that we have today. One example I often like to give is that in the last 50 years, the life expectancy has increased, has more than doubled. So it's just in the past 50 years. And that's why I'm here today. Without that, many of us would not be here. But that's what this century has made. Anyhow, how can this possibly happen? Well, I'm optimistic because I believe that we have to worry about future generations, and California is showing the way. I believe that rationality will prevail. California is showing the way, and I also believe in the progress of civilization. We know that it can be done because we know that this very important state is sort of showing leadership for the United States, for the entire planet as well. So let me just finish, and thank you, California, thank you, government, and for giving all of us here on stage this wonderful recognition, which is truly unforgettable. Thank you very much.